Hello everyone, welcome back everybody. Now we have a new patch, and a new patch of course means a new updated list of the top decks I recommend you to play. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. What are the top decks that I am recommending to play? I think the top deck of this meta right now is Relic Demon Hunter. I have a few interesting card choices for you here. I think an Immolation Aura is something that is very useful on a lot of ranks, especially if Outcast Demon Hunter or some more mid-rangey decks are part of the equation, where Immolation Aura kind of helps you stabilize around those. I think this is the most questionable card in the deck. You can maybe also take it for something more greedy. And I like playing a Queen Azara that gives you some additional stability for some of the harder pop-off turns. This lets you go a little bit more greedy against some of the more controlish deck, especially Ctrl Priest that is currently on the rise. All right, I'm gonna go quick here this time. We have a bunch of different ones. I think a deck that is fairly good against Relic Demon Hunter is Miracle Rogue. Here we have Miracle Rogue with one card Neophyte and one Fan of Knife, and a Necrolord Draka. The Draka is like a card that is specifically hedged to like be good in the mirror, but it's a lot harder to set up these days. So if you're not feeling too confident and if you face a lot of more board-centric matchups, you can go and place a second Fan of Knives in your deck. Or, for example, you could play a second called Neophyte in your deck, and both of these I think are absolutely fine choices for deck building, depending a little bit on the meta that you face and which of those cards is one that you're liking a little bit better. So Miracle Rogue still has a good matchup against some of the more aggressive decks because of the pop-off turns it can have. Yes, the Scribbling Sonographer got nerfed, but when you have a really hard pop-off turn, you'll still be able to play them anyway. So this is a deck I can recommend, and you make like really big minions against decks like Relic Demon Hunter, and there you should be fine. Alright, so now we have Miracle Rogue and we have Relic Demon Hunter, some of the older decks, but now I want to highlight some of the newer decks that I think are cool. And as always, I'm going to round up with a Bunny Special, which is a little bit of an experimental deck. So don't put too much faith in it, but it's something fun, and I always want to show you something fun, something you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. Now, we have one of the newer decks being Enrage Warrior. Enrage Warrior has become really powerful with all the buffs to the rifts. Some of the other cards in the deck, like Thori, being able to be revived indefinitely. You have a bunch of like really strong cards that synergize together quite well. You have Anima Extractors to buff up your cards together with either Sun Fury Champion or Wild Pyromancer, as well as the most important card in this deck is the Axe. The Axe really glues your deck together. You have some effects to like damage your minion, but this card is just incredibly strong and like buffing your board and making it super sticky. And it's of course one of the highest win rate mulligan cards in the deck. Authority being revived like a bunch of times with fire spells is also really, really strong. So the Enrage Warrior is a really cool deck that is new, and I think it's definitely tier 2. And definitely if you face board-centric decks or if you face druids, this is 100% a deck that I think is worth trying out. And I've had some success with it myself. And then another deck that is like not really new, but that got recently buffed, that I think is interesting to try out is Thaddius Warlock. Of course, what's in the ETC, all the codes are going to be in the description of the video below, where of course you can also let me know what you think of the decks. I've taken the normal list and I've taken out Alex Draza, which works well, of course, when you get Thaddius online. But I've replaced it with Hellfires to give you some more board control against earlier board-centric decks. I like this one a lot. Thaddius Warlock used to get really run over by the Demon Hunters, the Sinful Brand DHs, but now that has been kind of reverted and the deck has become a lot stronger because being able to coin the slime and then play Symphony of Sins is a lot more powerful play than it used to be before, and you just don't die as easily because the meta has shifted a little bit. So Thaddius Warlock, definitely a deck that you can try out, and that is interesting. All right, I'm gonna go through many decks here that are interesting. I'm gonna like mention only two more right now. One of them is Thief Priest. It's a super control priest. It's for super late game. You play the Demolition Renovators to play against some of the Relic Demon Hunters. The mirrors are very, very resident sleeper. But if you're wanting to play a control deck, this is a control deck to play. I played a little bit of this myself. I think the deck is decent. I don't think it's like broken, but I think it's like pretty good. Yeah, do recommend this as the control deck. I don't think you play Blood Decay. Blood Decay matchups are just really not it right now in terms of like what you need to bring to the table. So Blood Decay kind of falls off when Thief Priest comes up, especially since this one just kind of wins the mirror. All right, so there we have a control deck. Then I want to bring you a little bit more of a combo deck on the other side. An interesting mage that I got from Judgment. This is an aggressive mage deck where you can egg win some of your minions, and with Vexilus and Arcane Bolt, you can OTK your opponent. Before that, you play for board with Cosmic Keyboards and Cold Cases and other death bonds. I played a little bit on stream if you want to see how this deck works. I had pretty good success. It was actually my highest win rate deck this patch so far with this mage deck. Of course, code will be again in the description below. And then now I'm going to show you a deck that I'm working on right now. There's just a 40 card Thief Rogue together with Secrets. I don't think the power level is very high, but we're going to experiment around it on stream. Makes for some really funny moments. And go check it out if this is your thing. If you just want to meme, if you're like not super concerned with your win rate, this is like the go-to meme deck for you right now, I think. Within the band, you have Fizzle, so you can even get more greedy. Really deck that I'm considering right now, and we're iterate on stream. And if you come by on stream, we're probably gonna try to evolve this deck a little bit more and try to see if we can have some fun. Last but not least, I want to show you Outcast Demon Hunter. It's gotten a lot stronger in the meta because Blood Decay has been gone, and it does do a lot better against the like other control decks. And if decks want to go on board, this is really good because you have like 5 mana, 0 mana 5/5s at some point, and all the rushers, and the meta is very good for Heartstarter Rancher. So you have a bunch of aggressive tools that you can use to be able to overrun the board, and it's a decent spot for Outcast Demon Hunter. Of course, all the decks will be in the description below. Let me know what's your favorite deck of the current meta right now. What do you want to see more of? And then maybe I'll make a guide deck on one of the other decks. Vote in the description below which one would you like to see a guide on the most, because I think it's time for me to like, you know, make some more in-depth guide on some of these decks. Always remember that you're valuable and you matter, and I'll see you guys around on stream.